Hello everyone, back for another doll video, and today I'm going to be taking the hair out of some dolls. So I have these two right here that I've had for quite a long time. These were, I forget what they were called. They were called like At the Gym or something, but they are clone dolls. And I had two redhead ones when I was growing up. They were Caucasian, but their skin was like orangey looking, and they had like reddish, almost strawberry blonde hair, but it was a little darker. And the first one I got, she had like a sun hat, like she had like a summery look to her, like she had a sun hat looking blue. It was like a blue sun hat. She had a dress and gold shoes and things, so she came with quite a little bit of accessories. I have another Caucasian one. She is put away right now, but she's just like the ones that I had growing up, except she has blonde hair, and this was her outfit. She was a cheerleader or something. And then these ones were I've got a third one that I've already removed the hair on, but these ones had like workout outfits on. So they had like a tank top, sort of like cropped tank top, and then they had some stretchy shorts on. So yeah, but I'm removing the hair on these ones because I'm not sure if you'll be able to see. Look at, the hair is dry rotting. At least on her bangs. I was pulling at her regular hair and nothing's happening, but I'm gonna remove it anyway before it does dry rot. So, but yeah, her bangs are definitely disintegrate. Look at that. Yeah, her bangs are disintegrating, so on both of them. Now my original one, like this one, I cut her hair off because it kept frizzing, and then I had to cut it. And then I would brush it again, and it would frizz again, and then she lost so much hair, so. But, yeah, this one doesn't, these ones don't have a lot of hair. So yeah, it's mostly bald in the middle. So yeah, which is weird because these ones came with their hair down. Usually when you see dolls with, usually when you see clone dolls that are bald like that in the middle, it's from them having a ponytail. These ones didn't have a ponytail. So, but you'll know one of these clone dolls by the face mold. Very Superstar. It's a clone Superstar face mold. It's not the exact face mold, but I think they made this, whatever companies used to use these head molds, I think they had a Superstar head mold, and then they like tweaked it and sculpted it differently so that it wasn't identical. Or they just got it really, really spot on. But like, I can notice the differences. But you can definitely tell what they were going for. But the ones that I had always had these 3 dots. So yeah, you'll have like the iris. The iris is brown, and then the pupil, and then the 3 dots. There's 1 on top and 2 on bottom. So yeah. There was a store that I got my original one from called Cheapo Depot. It was way back in like the early 2000s. And that was the redhead one that I had that I no longer have anymore. But yeah, that was the store, which is now a Planet Fitness. Everything, all the cool stores that I knew growing up, or lots of fun places, they always, like whether it's a dollar store or a thrift store, they always turn into a gym. Lame. Boring. Like, why? But anyhow, I'll give you a good look at the hair. Yeah, it is poly hair. These dolls get sticky very easily, so yeah, but we're gonna cut their hair off. And I guess I will just go ahead and root them with black hair again. Oh. So yeah, this fell out of her head. So this is when they hole punched that hole. Well, the hole has been like majorly stretched out in there. But yeah, there's another hole way down in there. And that is where they hole punched it out. So yeah, she had that inside her head. And I know these dolls are older. Usually I save the hair on my older dolls because of memories, like nostalgia. It was once a part of one of my older dolls, but this hair is literally going to disintegrate, so there's no reason to save it. It's just going to dry rot and disintegrate. If it were up to me, I would just discontinue polypropylene hair altogether, because eventually this is what happens to all of it. If you're a toy company and you use polypropylene hair in your dolls, this is that doll's future right here. It could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, however long down the road. I guarantee you this will pretty much happen to every doll that has polypropylene hair. So yeah. Yeah, this particular head mold, there was loads of clone dolls that used this type of head mold right here. So, and yeah, you'll have to I have to apologize in advance. Some of my family members are home alone, or not home alone. I'm not. Usually I'm home alone, but some of my family members are here today, including one of my nieces, and she's being very loud and annoying and playing video games. So if you hear that, any noise or whatever, that's what that is. So yeah, her hair has been cut off completely. So we're gonna scoot that to the side. And this one, unfortunately, has a huge scalp split. So if you can see that, yeah, right along there. So it's just best that I remove her hair anyway. But yeah, I got these two dolls in 2009. My original one that was like this, I got her along with the blonde one that I also have. And I got those dolls in 2007, 2008 sometime. So I got these from the flea market. So they had like a, I wish I'd bought the whole, well, I was a teenager, so I didn't have a whole lot of money back then. But if I could have, I would have bought the whole, like if I'd had the money, I would have bought the whole thing, the whole case of them. They also had like these Ken looking dolls, but they were like G.I. Joe knockoffs. But in my opinion, they were like Ken G.I. Joe knockoffs, so it was kind of like a hybrid between the two. So the base doll looked like a Ken doll, and then they just dressed them in really cheap looking tent material military outfit. Like it was literally, the material of it was literally made of tent or swim short material, windbreaker material or something like that. But yeah, I remember this one had the thickest hair, but it's literally disintegrating. So yeah, I doubt any toy companies will ever see this, but if they do, this is your doll's future if you root them with poly hair. If you root your dolls with polypropylene hair, this is what will eventually happen. Their hair will disintegrate, or will start disintegrating, and you will have to cut it off and reroot it. I saw somebody reroot a Rainbow High doll. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say what doll it was, but I saw someone reroot a Rainbow High doll with poly hair, and I was like, why? That hair over time is just going to disintegrate. Like, they should stop production of that hair altogether. I have seen clone doll companies, like companies that make budget dolls. I've seen them root dolls with Conneclon or nylon hair. I've gone to the Dollar Tree and seen dolls rooted with Conneclon and nylon hair. So I know that it is possible. One of which was a mermaid doll that I got from Dollar Tree, and I harvested all her hair and gave it to one of my Mattel Barbies because it was actual Barbie grade Conneclon hair. And that doll, the brown hair that doll had was a completely different shade, but it was still brown hair, so I just gave her highlights. But she was missing quite a few plugs. So yes, now they are both done. I can tell them apart. This one was the thickest haired one. And this one, I think I got her second and this one third. Because obviously I don't know, but yeah. You can see that they're like sticking to one another. So yeah, their vinyl is sticky. Which when I got them out, when I unboxed them, I mean, I could see it from inside the packaging. They were super like shiny and oily looking. And yeah, their faces were very, very sticky. So, and this was back in 2009. So, and I'm suspecting these dolls were from the 2000s, but it didn't take them long to, yeah, see? Look at that. Her whole scalp had split open, so. I will probably be lowering her hairline and just gluing that together. Yep, see, it went right in because all that is split open. When I'm gonna reroot these, I don't know. They're just going in the reroot pile. I've got so many clone dolls that I need to reroot. Because so many clone dolls had poly hair. A lot of clone dolls I've had to reroot because of, oh geez, look at that. Yeah, that is how bad it is. They just rooted way too many plugs into that little area, and it caused her scalp to split open. I've gotten quite a few dolls like that. But yeah, these will just go in the reroot pile. I've got so many clones that need to be rerouted because they had poly hair, or some dolls that I had even just had, they just had haircuts, so. Oh, it's everywhere. It's all over this doll's head. She has splits happening everywhere. So yeah, they just routed way too many plugs into one singular area, which caused her scalp to split open in multiple different places. So I'm gonna have to glue her together. Yeah, like I said, with this one, it was mainly her bang. The bangs on these was starting to dry rot, so it must have been a different kind of poly hair. I know there's like different grades of polypropylene hair, but it's all pretty much the same. It's going to dry rot eventually. It is not going to last. And the reason I save these clone dolls is because they're very unique. Like, they used unique screenings. Like, Mattel never used a screening like this, where it was like 3 ginormous eye dots, like the big highlights that you see. It makes me think she's like a movie star or something, and she's like getting a photo shoot done, and that's the lights in her eyes. I don't know, that's what made me think of. Or maybe she was at some sort of event, like a festival or something, or a concert. Someplace where there's lots of... I just pictured her like at night in an environment where there's lots of lights, lots of big lights. And so yeah, and that's why she had light in her eyes. I would just make up little stories like that. See, I can even go in through this way since her scalp is split open so badly. I think it's all out though. But yeah, it's best once you start noticing that some of the hair is just breaking off like that, it's best to just remove the hair right then and there, because it's just going to make your life that much harder when you try to remove the hair in the future. If the hair completely dry rots out of the head, then removing the hair from the plugs is going to be very, very difficult. So, because the hair is just, the strands are just going to keep breaking, and yeah. But no, I just think these clone dolls are very special. Definitely worth preserving because, you know, these were meant for children to play with, and so mostly children got these. They didn't take care of them. And a lot of these probably got thrown out. Oh yeah, see, look, it just looks like sand or black dust on her scalp. That's all that hair disintegrated. Yeah. Wah wah. That's what I have to say about that. That's basically what you're gonna get when you root your doll with poly hair is wah wah. Yeah, you're gonna get that sort of sound, and it's gonna be an epic fail. You have to redo it. You'd rather not go back and have to redo it over again. Just do it right the first time, and no wah wah. That's why I use Kanekalon hair on my dolls, because it's easy to restore. So since I play with their hair a lot and brush their hair a lot, if it gets frizzy, I don't have to flat iron it. Now there are some grades of Kanekalon hair that you will have to flat iron, like American Girl doll hair is Kanekalon. Some people don't think it is, but it is wig grade Kanekalon hair. It 100% is Kanekalon. I don't care what anyone says. American Girl doll hair is Kanekalon. And that kind of hair, you can boil wash it, but you'll have to, like, if it's severely damaged, it's kind of like nylon where you'll have to go in and flat iron it to get it tamed again. So yeah, for those of you who didn't know, American Girl doll hair is Kanekalon hair. It's just wig. It's like human grade, wig grade Kanekalon hair. It is Kanekalon that they typically use when making human wigs. Or doing human hair extensions or whatever. Okay. Yeah, my hands are getting really sticky from touching them. So I have to go scrub their heads down thoroughly. Yeah, I really like their faces. They all came with these red lips. Hers are a little faded over on this side because they were at a flea market, so they were exposed to sunlight. And they do have, you can't really see it on this one, but there is brown eyeshadow. So they came with makeup on. What's weird is like the Caucasian ones had like blue looking, like super dark, navy blue looking eyebrows. So that was really interesting, but loads of clone dolls back in the day. Probably like the 80s, 90s, 2000s. A lot of them came with this head mold. Some of the original Lovely Patsy dolls had this face mold. Just painted, the face was painted differently. But yeah, I just think that a lot of clone dolls are super fun, basic little dolls that you can travel around with. You don't have to worry about them getting messed up. They're just fun to have. And that's one reason I like to collect them. They're very fun and simplistic, and yeah. And I think it's, I mean, just like a regular Barbie, these are works of art. They are, someone sculpted the head mold, someone designed the face paint, someone sculpted their bodies, someone designed the clothes. So they are still works of art nonetheless. So anyhow, thank you guys for watching. More videos to come, and remember to stay true to you.